Hey everyone, in this video we are going to learn about threads and blocks in CUDA programming. These are really useful when we are developing a big project. So we have to divide different tasks that require extensive computation across different threads in parallel. So in this way, we will be able to solve them fastly. Here in my code editor, I have created a CUDA file test.cu. Now inside this file, we are going to write our program. So the first thing is I have to include a library called stdio.h, and I'm going to use this library to print the output on CMD or the console. And next I'm going to create a CUDA kernel or a function that will run on CUDA. For this you have to type the global keyword here with the double dash signs. Next you have to define the type of the function. Next write the name of the function. Next create a set of small brackets and create a set of curly brackets. Here we have created a simple CUDA kernel, and now it will run on threads inside our GPU. In CUDA, we have n number of threads that are arranged in a 3D grid structure. So it means we can create either one-dimensional, two-dimensional or three-dimensional threads along x, y and z coordinates. Similarly, in CUDA, we have n number of blocks that are also arranged in a 3D grid structure. And in each block, we have n number of threads that are arranged in a 3D grid structure. Similarly, we can also create blocks along x, y and z dimensions. Now I am going to print the thread ID and the block ID on which this CUDA kernel is running. For this I have to write here the printf function, and for the thread ID I have to type here thread ID first along the x dimension, so type x here and put percentage and d letter here because we are printing the integer numbers. Do same for y coordinate and also for z coordinate. Next we have to know the block ID. For this we have to type here again block ID along x coordinate and do the same for y coordinate and z coordinate. Next, to get the thread ID you have to type here thread idx.x for the x dimension, and similarly do for the y dimension thread idx.y, and same goes for the z dimension. Now do the same for the block IDs. Type here block idx.x for x dimension, and here for y dimension, and here for z dimension, and put semicolon in the end. Now to run this kernel we have to create a main function inside the CPU. For this you have to type here int main, and now to call this kernel we have to write the name of the kernel, which is print IDs. Now put three equality signs here because we are dealing with a 3D grid structure. Now you have to write the number of blocks you need. In the first example I am going to just need one block or a one-dimensional block, so I have to put one here, comma. Next we have to define the number of threads per block. In this example I am just going to create a one-dimensional thread or one thread, so I have to put again one here. These blocks and threads most probably will create along x dimension. Now enclose it again by using the equality signs and create a set of small brackets, put semicolon in the end. Now I am going to use a function called CUDA device synchronize. This function will alert the CPU when GPU finished with its task. So in this way CPU will wait until the GPU finished its tasks. After that the CPU will execute the next line. So in the next line we are going to finish our program, so I have to simply return 0 here. Now to visualize the thread ID and the block ID on which this CUDA kernel is running, we have to compile the program. For this open your terminal. Make sure you are using the x64 native tools command prompt for Visual Studio in order to use the NVCC tools. Now to compile the program you have to type here NVCC and the name of your CUDA file -o and the name of your output file and press enter. And here our program is built successfully and these three files are created .lib.exp and .exe. So in order to visualize the output we have to run the executable file, which is output.exe, and press enter. Here in the output you can see that this kernel is running on the thread ID 000 and block ID 000. You can think of it as a three-dimensional structure. So it is running at 000 coordinate and block ID also at 000 coordinate along x, y and z. This time I will run this kernel in two different threads. So I will create two threads in total and I will create one thread per block. So it means I need two blocks, so just replace one here with two. Now it means that I have created two blocks and one block per thread. So in total we have two blocks and total two threads. Now in order to separate both of the threads, in order to visualize it clearly, I have to move it to the next line, so put slash and here. Now again compile your program, go back into your terminal, compile it again here, and now Run the output file. Here you can see that now two threads are created. The thread dimension is 0, 0, 0 along x, y, and z coordinate, and the block dimension for the first thread is 1, 0, 0. Similarly, for the second thread, the ID again starts from 0, 0, 0, and the block ID now is at 0, 0, 0. In each block, the thread ID again starts from 0. So 0 means the thread at index 0. So in CUDA, the number starts from 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Now let's try to create 4 threads. Now 2 threads per block. So just replace this one with 2. Now save your file again, compile your program again, run your output file again. Here now you can see that in total we have 4 threads, 2 threads per block. Now here if you can see at the coordinate, we have created one thread at x0, y0, z0, and the second thread will be created at x1, y0, z0. Similarly, in the next block, the thread ID again starts from 0, 0, 0, and the next thread will be created at 1, 0, 0. Now let's see how we can create a multi-dimensional thread. I will just replace again this block with just one block, and now to create a multi-dimensional thread, you have to type here dim3, create a set of small brackets. Now inside these brackets, you can put the 3-dimensional thread. For example, in order to create just one thread, you have to type it 1, 1, 1. So it means it will create just one thread in a 3 dimension. Now if I will run my output again, here you can see that it will create the thread at ID 0, 0, 0. What now if I will do 2 here? Now in total it will create 2 threads, and these 2 threads are created along x dimension, x0 and x1. Now go back into your terminal to visualize it, compile your program, and here in the output you can see that 2 threads are created, and one thread is created at coordinate 0, 0, 0, and the second thread is created at 1, 0, 0. Now I will change this one in y with 2. Now it will create in total 4 threads. You have to multiply all these numbers, 2 into 2 into 1. So in total it will create 4 threads, 2 at x coordinate and 2 at y coordinate. In order to visualize it, compile your program again, and here in the output you can see that now we have 4 different threads. 2 are created at x coordinate. First it will make all the threads at the x coordinate. So first it will create at 0, 0, 0, then it will use x1, y0, 0, then again it will use x0, y1, z0, then x1, y1, z0. Now in the last example we will also utilize the z coordinate. Now you can guess what will happen this time, how many threads it will generate. Here it will generate in total 8 threads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 at x, 0, 1, 2 at y, 0, 1, and 2 at z here, 0, 1. So in total we have 8 threads. Now if you want to make these threads into 16 threads, you can create all of these same 8 threads into the second block. So you can just replace this one with 2 here. Now save your file. Now compile your program again. Now in the output you can see that in total we have 16 threads. We have 8 threads in block 1 and 8 threads in block 2. So in total we have 16 threads. In the same way you can also create a multi-dimensional block. For example, here if I will write 2, 1, 1, and you have to also write here dim3. Now save again your file and compile your program again. Now in the output we will see what is happening here. Now this time we have total number of blocks 2. 2 into 1 is 2. So in total again we have 16 threads here, and here is the block ID at x is 1, and here at x 0, y 0, and z 0. This is it for today. This time you have seen that how we can create multi-dimensional threads and multi-dimensional blocks. Here you have seen also one problem. In each block the thread ID always starts from the 0. So in order to properly track down the IDs, in order to know on which ID which kernel is running, we need a global thread ID and a global block ID. In the next tutorial we will see how we can calculate the global thread ID and the global block ID. So if you want to learn more about AI, robotics and software development, you can subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get the updates of the new uploads. See you next time. Bye bye.